but apparently that hasn't been complicated too much yet. So
Don't worry, it'll always get more complicated. Jesus Christ, the amount of Dungeons Dragons fucking things that are happening right now.
so
All right. It should be up in a second.
to me, he didn't really do much to you, did he? Nope.
No.
He just looked at you.
Yep.
Yep. Didn't you hold out your finger to him and he just said nah, basically?
Yeah,
Who
I
did the
think
ET
so.
thing where they like touch
Yeah.
you?
Probably.
Yeah.
tried to. She tried
Yeah.
to. He just said no.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Over
pretty
eager.
cool.
But most importantly, Mr. Shin was given a seemingly cut sphere or a cut gem of some kind with this kind of red crackling spring trapped inside. And then you were all promptly booted out. Some of you were emotionally recovering, others physically, and some of you just really fucked up a tree. In any case, you checked out the last of the areas. You went up to a bandit camp. We're going to get into a fight, but then summoned an illusion of good old Axiom and frightened off the bandit leaders who could not see
Fair.
through the illusion.
To be fair, a man with a shard plate and shard blade walking up to you, it's kind of whether or not it's an illusion or not, you kind of run because you don't want to risk your chances, right?
And then the end of the trip was with you guys chilling out by a beach, enjoying a day.
It was a good trip.
And you met up with Kaladin, who let you know that Jasna Kolin, the sister of the king, was reported dead by her ward, Shalon Devar, who is officially in town, though not staying with the Kolins, but quote unquote with her uncle, Sabariel, in one of the other war camps. Sabariel, yes. He has literally never gone on a plateau run. He instead focuses on internal commerce and building industry.
Who is worthless.
He's also generally considered to be very eccentric. He has a Phelan wife, I believe, who is very voluptuous, but likes to sunbathe and just chill the fuck out.
Nice.
Also not a wife, I think. I think it's a mistress, but they're exclusive. Weird.
Potato,
in any case.
potato.
Yeah, but you guys came back. Adolin had apparently been running through the circuits, and nobody would duel him anymore in regulars. And yeah, so
Oh yeah,
as
isn't
y'all-
he gonna try and fight Sadius?
yeah, so basically the plan is that he has to cajole some people into a disadvantaged fight. So basically him against two shard bearers, and if he wins, it's considered a point or a moment of glory in which he could demand that even a high prince face him in a duel to the death, essentially. Yeah, so that's where we're at. You guys currently have woken up in the morning, and prior were given orders to report to Zachel for your shard training, which has been put off twice now.
Is
We're
Jake
good at this
joining us?
job. Not tonight.
Okay.
She's not feeling too good.
Cool. Well, it's early as hell in the morning. What are y'all doing?
I'm gonna go do my usual training because that's probably what I'm doing this early in the morning because I like to sleep outside still.
Okay. You guys come out and see Garrick just with a big ass piece of lumber doing the old bridge carry.
Fucking, I'm lost in thought right now. So
You know we don't have to run bridges anymore, right?
regardless, it's best to stay ready.
Ready for a bridge run?
Yeah.
You say it like this isn't just one of the best workouts we had over the past couple of years.
I mean,
I'll give you that.
yeah.
I mean, it's our usual training. Keeps us. Why do I have to fucking do it? What the fuck? defy my means. Fuck
I'm
you.
glad
guys.
everyone saw that.
Just boing.
Oh. Just not expecting that.
Oh, yeah. One minor thing I also didn't mention that might be massively important. Luis asked for some shit, and the archfey said, "No, not now. Find a menagerie, and then you're gonna remember." And he
Ask
poked him on the
then.
forehead.
No, I did not ask. I didn't. I specifically said nope, no, 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 no.
No, you asked for some other shit, and he took offense.
What did I ask for?
Remember?
If he
Remember
doesn't
this
Asked to
remember,
be
it might
let
be
out of
better.
the tree?
Mm-hmm. Something like that. I think you asked what you were going to get out of the situation or something after seeing a ripped off finger.
What am I gonna get out of this?
But regardless, a couple of interesting things. As you guys are kind of coalescing in the morning, you see Teft kind of stumble back in the barracks, his coat a little bit disheveled. Roll a perception check, folks who are interested.
I'm lost in thought, thinking about what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Asking tonight. But I am watching for a natural 1 or natural 20.
I do not perceive.
Lull. It's pretty subtle, but as you look down at Teft's fingertips, you're noticing that they're kind of like they look red and a little bit scarred over, as if they kind of have burn scars over the tip of them. But regardless, you see him stumble in and presumably pass out in his barrack.
I'm gonna lean over to Luis and I wonder where he's been all night.
To me, as the other two are looking at this whole situation. Someone's missing.
Who's missing?
Is it Raphael?
Is it Shin?
Jen is missing.
Has anyone seen Shin since yesterday? Or since we got back? Whenever that was.
You guys got
No,
back last
I
night,
ain't
basically.
seen him.
No, not that I can think of.
Not the most perceptive. So no.
Do I remember if he was like if he came to bed?
Thinking back on it, it's very weird with Parshmen. You know, like you're almost trained from birth to like not notice them.
Mhm.
But thinking back on it, you think that you remember seeing him kind of step out last night. And with that high of a perception check, you heard kind of a brief conversation between what seemed like him and Kaladin.
Did
But
I
that
hear
was a
any of the
little last-
conversation, or was it just shush,
Mm.
shush, shush, shush?
Yeah, no, you heard that heard the distinct intonation of Kaladin's voice, but otherwise,
Is Kaladin here,
not
or is
currently.
he off somewhere?
Well, he's in camp. He's just not out with you right now.
I'm gonna go look for Kaladin because I'm nosy.
You make your way over to
best
his captain
traits.
barracks.
Sorry, Nox is
You're good.
upset. Kaladin's there. Is he busy?
You see a closed door.
Knock knock.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
You hear, "Ugh. Come in."
I open the door.
You see him doing push-ups because he's an asshole. You see
I
him kinda
admire.
pop up Yeah, you admire because he is shirtless, by the way.
I figured.
Yeah. Do me. Hey.
To
what
me
can I
over
help
here
you with?
thirsting over Kaladin.
Mm-hmm.
Just for a moment, you're like, what?
What?
Nice.
What am I doing here again?
I lost my train of
Why
thought.
did I come here?
And there's not even trains in this world.
Have you seen Shin this morning?
Oh, yeah, I've been meaning to talk to you guys about that. I was at a weird encounter last night. He came up in the dark and he wasn't in his uniform, he was wearing like regular parchment clothes. And he said that his name wasn't Shin, it was Verlaine, and that he had to go back and talk to someone. I don't-
Relaine?
Verlaine. RLA.
Go back where? Home? What does that mean?
He didn't specify. He just said he had to go back. He is free, Gus, so let him go.
Question, I don't remember. Did we tell Kaladin that he got that crystal thing from the Fae?
Uh-uh.
Weird.
You see him kind of look down. Anything else? He's kind of toweling off.
Nope. I was just curious where he might be.
Yeah.
Have a good day, and I will leave.
You guys will see Toomey return slightly redder than normal.
Blushing just a smidge. Shin just dipped, I guess. Said he had to go back to talk to somebody. Whatever
Well,
that
that
means.
can't be good. Should we go looking for him?
Yeah.
I mean,
Sounds like it's his business.
yeah.
I don't think leaving without orders would bode too well.
Well, I mean, Kaladin let him leave.
Ah. Well. As
Why do
concerning
you look
as
so
it is.
distressed, Garrick?
Garrick, it's
You
as if you're
Can't hear you.
talking
You're
and
so
Talking,
quiet.
words just
nobody
aren't
can
coming
hear
out.
you with your
You're
lips
so
moving.
quiet.
You're muted, bro.
So quiet. Do you think he knows he's muted?
No, I don't think he does.
Can he hear us?
I don't know if he can hear us or
you
the
guys,
music,
you
but
guys
the music's
saw
a
Garrick
bop.
just like running through a conversation in his head, and then he just turns back to you like,
All I said was, don't take that. Don't take my face for it. That's Marshall being perturbed, not Garrick. And then, yeah, apparently I was muted.
yeah. No, you guys, you'll see Garrick deep in thought, and then Pellinard just 1,000. Yeah. In any case, Lowell, I believe you were talking to me about Tef as well prior to the whole deal.
Oh yeah, might be.
You're good.
I don't. Oh yeah, I leaned over to Luis. Where do you think he was at all night?
Eh, could have been putting one on.
Did you see his fingers? They look
Nah, I was sleeping.
Roll a medicine check, Luis. You might.
I'm gonna let you guys figure this out. I'll be back in a bit. I need a walk. And
I'm real
my
good at
head.
medicine.
I'm gonna go for a walk.
That's yeah. I'm going for a walk. No, you don't, you red asshole.
Okay, shit, that's actually pretty good. Luis, you know your medicinal drugs. Fire moss is the most common, what do you say, cause of that kind of burnt fingertips. Basically, they take a pat of moss and they rub it together, and the fumes give them kind of a euphoric, strung out feeling.
So the man is on opium.
Kind of. But it literally, the moss physically burns when you rub it together.
Spicy.
Any case,
So it's like black powder and opium.
yeah. It's where you mix your gunpowder and your cocaine together, and you just.
Ow.
Is that Bam Bam?
Pretty
Cough,
sure
cough,
if
echo,
you're
cough, cough.
Do you actually make yourself cough, Trey?
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure if you mix black powder and cocaine, it's called a firing line, and you can't add me on that.
Yeah. What do you ask, Cole? What do you ask?
Eh?
Cam.
I didn't ask anything.
Oh, I thought you. Okay. In any case, do with that information what you
Yeah,
will.
did you share that information with me?
Nope.
All right then. Well, I'm in the dark, so I don't know.
You
Can I
are
move
in
on?
fact not in the dark. It is sunny out, but it's okay. Maybe you've been hitting the fire moss too, and I think I'm gonna go grab a pint and a piece of wood.
Was- Hang on, fire moss? What's
Yeah.
that?
Roll a medicine check. Nice.
Medicine.
See if you...
Nope.
Nope. Oh, wait.
Oh, you know what fire moss is.
I can't say I do.
I don't know if I believe you. Crazy bugger like you carving up animals and shit. Seems right up your alley.
What? Does it? What? I'm even more confused now than I was before. How does that have to do with?
It's one of those drugs that it hurts you as you use it. Seems like your kind of thing. In fact, I'm surprised I ain't seen the bed marks on your fingers up until this point. Truth be told.
Well, I may have to look into this.
The pain I desire is so much sharper.
Well, thanks for the information there, Luis. Carry on.
As you were.
Yeah, right. And I go find more wood.
You go find more wood. Varix, you up to much?
What?
You up to much?
No, probably just checking the stocks and stuff.
All right.
Doing my
You're
quarterly
you're in the
job.
back with the rock and just going over inventory.
Rook.
So, I hear that you had much excitement on your journey out into the Badlands.
I don't know if I'd call it exciting, but stuff happened.
As it usually does.
Yeah,
Did you
usually
make good
does.
food?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Good. Good. I'm glad that we are getting you Ursic lowlanders accustomed to our wine palate.
Do you often get taken out of your body for no reason, just out of curiosity? No particular reason, into another body?
That is a very specific question, but I think I have experienced this thing once when swimming in the pools on the peaks of my home.
What
That
happened
is
exactly?
Actually, incredibly important.
I felt as if my mind and body were separating as I floated on my back. I have big chest, big lung, and float for long. And as my mind drifted, I saw a strange land, as if millions upon millions of orbs around me all.
And where is this exactly?
On my home, in the
Where?
peaks. You
In the
cannot go
peaks.
there.
Oh,
Well, you can go to my home. You cannot go to the pool. They are sacred. But if you take Chumi, she can go into pools.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
I'll remember that. Why can she go?
Because she's a
It's
horn
just-
eater.
I was like,
But like, do we get like a buddy pass?
Perhaps this thing can be done. But I would need to, or she would need to, be king of the peaks. They say that the first person to bring back a set of shard plate and shard blade shall be king of all her Hordy.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you for answering my question for no reason.
Of course, my dear friend. You are ignorant, and he gives you a big bear hug.
Uh,
So it is my job to treat you in such a way, like children.
Good God.
As he puts you down.
I want to be that huge.
Rock is my favorite.
Unfortunately, too much air for you to be this big. And he pats you on the head.
Okay.
Although, I admit, to me is a strange one. Very small.
She's kind of small.
Yes. Anyway, go. You have training with Swordmaster.
Okay. Goodbye.
Shoves you out. Cool.
I guess I go to training, I guess.
You head toward training. Alrighty.
So bossy.
Where are you, Mr. Eyebrows here?
Oh, for my carving, I
Mhm.
would like to find a big piece of wood.
Okay.
And I am going to carve one of the heads of the false Hydra.
Good, okay. Performance with advantage.
Yay. That's not gonna do it. That's also not gonna do it.
It's rough, you know?
Looks like a weird penis.
Like, like you're still remembering what the Archfey had insinuated about your brother. So your hands are a bit shaky, and it's kind of like you got the shape right, but it's just chunky and is not polished. It's gonna need more
That
time.
one's going straight in a campfire.
All right. Pelinar, what are you up to at this time?
Still feeling all doom and gloom. And Jesus, what the fuck was that? Is it super loud for anyone else?
No.
sorry.
So, I don't know, Pelinar is just kind of wandering aimlessly around camp right now, just
Okay.
lost in thought.
You'll occasionally watch Garrick wandering too. As you
I'm-
slightly cross paths.
Examining the ring every now and I'm very much looking at the ring while I'm walking.
Mhm. Alrighty, you're on your walk. Toomey, what are you up to? You just going to the sword trading?
Yeah, I'm just gonna head to training after.
Copy. Raphael, chill out with you. You're there too. Lop, what about you? Heading training?
Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. Garrick, you're staring at your ring.
How many eyes does it have total?
Just one right now, I believe.
How many does it look like it can have?
Roll an intelligence check. About 20.
So 19 is where I'm at pretty much right now.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. So this is meta knowledge, but whereas the Sid's original ring, kind of an emblazoned, like it looked like an imprint on it. This one actually has this kind of weird biological feel to it,
It's
where it's
part of
slightly
me.
it's that, and then slightly leaks this kind of yellowish liquid. Kind of gross.
I don't like that. Well, time to delete this. I'm gonna ask the ring to show me Dalinar's past.
Ooh.
You'll hear a chuckle. I shall grant this thing, but not now.
The
As
fuck
you
do you say?
feel a bond snap into place between you, the rest of the group, and Dalinar.
Oopsies. Anyone else feel that, or is it just me?
You don't see any of the eyes additionally come up yet. However, you do see that you feel that bond emanating from what looked like two of the
Oh, God.
sections.
Damn it. So maybe two other people can ask questions. Interesting. I'll just shrug for a moment, have to shake my head and be like, I'm late. Run back. Late for anime school.
You do get a singular flash in your head as you ask the question, though, and I will post it in the notes.
Okay, I don't like that. Okay, I really don't like that. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh wait,
Daddy
hold on.
Dalinar is kind of mean. Guys, wait a minute. I don't know if we're on the right side anymore.
It's Dalinar. We're fine.
Yeah.
To be fair, that is the Black, and he was something of a monster during the unification of Alethkar. And then not like in his actions, but he was quite literally like Elakar's fucking blunt object, you know.
Yeah. As I've recently gotten to that chapter, and he's very remorseful. He got the shock.
Yeah, he went through the ringer.
All right, Garrick, you heading to Sword
Yup.
Training? Mr. Pellinar,
Late for
you
anime
are-
school.
You are wandering about the camp. What do?
I am feeling just all out of sorts.
Mhm.
And I would like to, well, how do I put this? I'm send this in a message. Do.
And though right now may not be the best time for it, you do remember Brash suggesting that you go talk to Kaladin.
That's true. Yes. And I will keep that in mind.
I was going to say, you're going to go interrupt his training a second time?
Oh god,
Knock,
he's
knock,
even
knock. What do you
sweatier and
want?
ripped.
Just walks out sweaty and ripped even more. Just give me a minute. I gotta go get to me.
Nah, it's Pellinar. We just work out together.
That's right.
Yes.
You'd be like, hey, bro. It'd be the
You need a
fucking
spotter?
Armstrong from fucking Full Metal Alchemist, just the handshake. It'd
No,
be
you
perfect
just-
because you're missing an eye too.
You guys see Pellinar just slap his way in. To me. He just got the pump on.
He was here to pump us
You
up.
He's here to pump you all up, but he can't pump himself up. Oh no.
Careful, if you say pump you up to Toomey, he might take that a different way.
God. See, the important part is what he's pumping up with. Oh god.
Cock pump.
I was gonna say it. I tried to avoid saying it. I'm glad someone said it.
Me wouldn't be that brazen.
I don't know, man. In the moment, you can be.
Ani would be that brazen.
Tomorrow's gonna be interesting.
All right. As you're going around Pellinar, you kind of make your way, and you see the edge of the chasm. You feel kind of something of a panic attack on, kind of sit down by it, and you kind of put your hands behind you and look up at the sky. You're just catching your breath, and
Mic on.
I just like swing my hand to get it off.
mhm,
And
you
just
see it do like 3 front flips as it.
blasted little creature. Ah, that hurts horribly. Ah, and in that moment, the pain of this bite like kind of takes me out of my headspace where I was all out of sorts. Start thinking about the pain. It's good. It's not good, but it reminds you you're alive. And I can't dwell on the past. I can't dwell on the pain. And I think about that little 8-legged Kremling, and I'm like, that would make a good symbol. I'll remember that.
Jesus Christ.
In that moment, though, I think about it. Is Brash still gone, by the way?
Brush
No. Okay. No, yeah, that's right. Brash came back. That's right. Kaladin. I need to speak to him. And so I'll go looking for Mr. K.
As you go looking for Mr. Galadin, Lowell, you see Pelinar walking by, and you're like,
Hey, where are you going?
you,
We have training. You're going the wrong way. This way. Follow me. Come on.
Just like dragging me along.
just back of your uniform. Just
But Kaladin, I need to speak to him.
Kaladin can wait. We have training. It's been put off too many times. You're not going to be late to this.
Fair enough, I suppose.
all right. You all finally coalesce at the training grounds, and you see Zahel in front. And not too long after, Mr. Lull will join in, and you'll see him kind of look out at y'all. All right, so after a couple months, we have finally managed to get you all in here. Now, go ahead, everybody, pick up one of those swords over there, and you see what look like shard blade sized wooden training swords. I'm gonna go ahead and run you with Mr. Lowell here through the basics. As you all grab your swords, he'll run you basically through several of these sword forms. So there's many different types of stances there that are standard, and basically he goes through most of the day just training you on exactly what those stances are. So there's iron stance, fire stance, fine stance, wind stance, and they all offer different benefits and drawbacks. Thinking back to the Assassin in White fight, didn't seem like he used any of these directly. And then there's another moment that a few of you think of where he caught the blade. And you're like, oh shit. That was a cool moment. I wonder if that's like standard practice or something, you know? And naked. As you're all thinking about it, basically, for all intents and purposes, if you have a shard blade, you are allowed a sweeping attack, your regular attack. It's not a 2-hit. It's a dexterity save from any individuals within the area, and it's a pretty decent reach. It's about, with your arm length, depending on who you are, anywhere from 8 to 10 feet ish in front of you in a cone. So Pretty solid. As you're all taking a break, you will go ahead and see Zahel shaking his head as he seems to be kind of remembering something, but go about it as you will.
Did you say me?
Anybody? Yeah, you guys are on a break right now.
Gonna go ahead and just chill out.
I'm sleeping.
Sleeping.
On break. Get those Z's while you can.
I assume we were over by where I saw Zahel sleeping on that roof.
Yeah, you guys are inside. To get up there, you'd have to go through like a couple side.
Damn, okay. That's a little too far. Unless we have like a lunch break when.
Yeah, it's like a 30-minute break, basically.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna meditate.
Okay. Make a wisdom check.
Wisdom. Not good.
It's not the easiest meditation you've ever had. You've been working your body most of the day. There's plenty of people around kind of distracting you, but
Be right back.
Too many
water.
distractions.
Womp womp.
Well, downstairs, as you're grabbing a drink from the water barrel, you'll hear Zale just kind of reminiscing. You guys weren't here, but Kaladin tried to fight Adolin in full shard plate and a blunted shard blade. That was friggin' ridiculous.
Why?
There was a dispute as to what a regular soldier could do against a shard bearer if they really were coming for, say, Dalinar. And Kaladin said they could at the very least be distraction. Adolin said that essentially it would be barely an inconvenience. So they decided to do some sparring. And eventually, Kaladin got knocked on his ass.
How long did he hold out? How long was eventually?
5 minutes. Good against Shardbear.
Lasting 5 minutes is a long time. You heard it here first. D&D approved.
Luis, we are in a Ardentria. Please, for the
Can
love
you
of
just
God.
say the bad words so that way you can, just get punishment somehow?
I'm trying so hard to stay awake. I have no filter. All of my energy is going on not falling asleep sitting here.
God.
Who's doing the best in training so far? Who's your favorite?
I try not to have favorites. I hate you all
Yeah, but
equally.
like if you okay, but who do you hate the least?
Everybody roll a strength check. Let's see who's doing the best.
Wow.
Come on.
The dice do not like me tonight.
Me and fucking Varix over here, just fucking swole bastards.
Yeah.
Lowell coming up behind.
Blame it on my
those-
Kremling bite.
Yeah. Ow. Right. Yeah, well,
I'm very sore.
those two over there show the most promise. The one who's napping and the one who he just keeps looking at his fingers. Weird.
What are the odds we're the two most promising?
We don't need to work as hard, and we already show promise for it.
Is that guy sleeping over there? Yeah.
Sleeping. Yup.
Isn't he like one of your best soldiers? Yep.
He doesn't. He
To be
can't.
fair-
He doesn't perceive shit.
We all
But he's
remember
good.
those kids back in school where they'd finish the test and they'd just flip it and be like, all right, cool. That was 5 minutes of my time wasted. Let's take a nap while everyone else is struggling.
Yeah. My
Was that
coworker's
you,
one of
Brittany?
those.
Was that you? Were you that kid?
I was that
Yeah, you
asshole.
were. I know you both were.
I was that kid.
I
This
wasn't.
is the dude that is an ardent like Lowell was, right?
Swordmaster. Although,
But
again, this is a very weird Ardent. He has hair, and he's kind of wearing Ardent's robes, but they're not that same style. Weird.
hey, can I ask you a question?
I guess.
Are anger issues just like an overarching ardent thing, or like have you met Lowell? Have you had a conversation with him?
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you ever talked to him alone in a dark room?
Not in a dark room.
Not in a dark room. Gay.
I did, however, watch him trip down some stairs. It was very.
You watched him trip downstairs? Nice. Don't tell him I said that. But like, is that like, is that just an ardent thing? Are you just an angry people, or is Lowell just a creepy dude?
I'm angry because I'm an asshole and very tired.
Yeah, but like, do you like cutting things open?
Can't say I've ever enjoyed it too much.
Okay. Just curious.
In any case, he's from Yakoved. They're weirdos over there. They're weirdos here too, but it's a little.
I'm gonna drink more water before we fight again.
Just as you're starting to walk away, you're like, oh yeah, Dalinar move. That's cool. What was that?
The catching one?
If there's anybody to ask, Swordmaster.
What's his name again?
Zyle.
Hey, Zyle. I have one final question for you, and then I will leave you alone on your break.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anybody catch a sword midair? Mid-strike?
Yeah. Did you?
Yes.
Who?
Is that a move that you teach?
Sometimes. Who do you see do it?
Dalinar. Right? Dalinar?
Huh. The old
Yeah,
bastard can
Dalinar
still pull
would.
off a last clap. Good for him.
Last clap.
Yeah. It's not a suggestible move unless you have absolutely no choice. Because it's assuming shard bearers get lazy when they do their strikes because it just cuts through anything without any resistance. So they often don't put their full weight behind it. So you have the opportunity then to actually catch the blade. So they're most likely not going to slip out of you. It's a risk though, because if they do bring it down harder, then you're just gonna get the heels of your palms sliced, and it's gonna go right through you. So
Have you seen do it?
Hmm?
Who you said? Who have you trained to do it? You said you've seen people do it.
it's something that we teach the light eyes when they get old, because eventually the rumors get around that, oh, you could catch a blade, and then I have to do it and then tell them exactly why they shouldn't do it most of the time, especially if that's your be all end all, because it's a good way to get automatically killed too.
Can Kaladin do it?
Probably gets fast.
Neat.
All right. So you guys go about the rest of your training. Relatively simple. Honestly, the number one thing that you guys are finding yourself become the most useful thing that you came out of it, outside of just knowing the basic sword stances that could be potentially used against you, is just getting that awe factor out of your head when facing down a shard blade. they're all so gorgeous and just imposing that to get that point where you're just seeing it as a weapon again is very useful for you. But yeah, you guys think that unless it's something very odd, you're probably not going to be too odd, as it were, by the sight of. But yeah. In any case, that is the end of the sword training, the truncated version. You guys had Beck, Mr. Pelinar. You seek out Mr. Gallatin.
I do.
Alrighty. Knock knock.
Kaladin, sir, is now a good time to speak?
Yeah, come on in. As you go in, he's doing pull-ups. Also shirtless.
Do you need a spotter? I'm totally free.
You,
Are you saying you'll keep an eye on him?
No.
Oh.
you see him drop down and pull on a shirt. No, that's all right. I'm just
Fine.
about finished.
All
What can I
right.
help you with there, Pelinar?
Well, I know we all sounded pretty insane when we came back from our mission, but
Yeah, I talked about the kids. That was weird.
yeah, it was quite the experience, but it did happen, and I know how strange it sounds.
I believe you. Weirdly enough, I've had plenty of weird shit going on as well.
Well, not that I like you having weird shit, but it makes me very comfortable to know that you believe us.
Mm.
I'm struggling with a lot of pain and anguish
Oh yeah.
during this time. This creature, it forced me to watch the death of my parents again and again and again. It felt like eons. And I'm so filled with rage.
Yeah. You see him kind of gesture for you to sit down as he does the same.
Go ahead and sit.
Pelinar, you in many ways feel a lot like when my brother died. I was 8 months into training in the military, and they threw him out there just as bait, essentially, just to try to win the battle. And it was just some stupid border dispute between two Alethi lords, not even in separate. And what I did, and I don't know if it was the most healthy thing in the world, but I threw training for months and months and months. That's how I became so good with the spear, really. It was all I could do to keep my mind off of it. I can't say that that's the answer for you, but found that having somebody to talk to, and you see him kind of gesture to his shoulder where you don't see her, but you expect that you would see good old Syl. Having somebody to talk to who just is willing to listen, I think, is important. And then knowing that you're not alone. You know, I don't know. I feel like I've been a surgeon for most of my life, and nobody ever talks about how to fix what's up here, just what's going on in here. I don't know. Could I task you with something? As he kind of leans in.
Anything, of course.
I could hear what happens in the body. I can make it so that you all are strong, but I've yet to figure out a way to try to help what's going on in people's minds. I know I have melancholy. Especially gets worse throughout my days. I know that there are others who go to the Ardentia for help, but I don't know what they do for them. And most of the time they don't come back, and if they do, not better. If you could keep an eye out, see if perhaps there's a better way. I'll do the
Of
same.
course. Absolutely.
You'll see him hold his hand out to you.
Boom. Clap his hand, big old manly ass handshake.
Good.
It's a couple of buff dudes touching each other.
Yeah, you'll see him kind of, as you break the handshake, put a hand on your shoulder. We have to protect those who can't protect themselves.
Absolutely. Thank you, Kaladin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I'll give you a nod. We'll head on out.
Cool.
All right. Other folks, you're on guard detail with Adolin as he is finishing his recent bout. Okay. So he just got done defeating a son of a high prince, rather the cousin of a high prince. No, nephew. Sorry, my familial deal is fucked. Yeah. High Prince Relis, his son's cousin was just defeated by him. He was one of the other shard bearers in Relis's war camp. The lot of you are currently guarding him as they're talking after the bout. Specifically, Relis burges into the back room and confronts Adolin with the High Judge behind him. Oh. Also, Shallan, the presumed betrothed of Adolin, is there as well. They were talking when suddenly somebody burst into the room that you then saw was Relis, so backed off a bit. You'll hear Relis shout as he walks in, "What was that?" And you see a small gaggle of other light eyes behind him, along with the High Judge. "You insult me and my house, Colin." You see Adolin clasp his gauntleted hands behind his back as Relis stalks right up to him, shoving his face into Adolin's. "You didn't like the duel?" "That was not a duel. You embarrassed my cousin by refusing to fight properly." For reference, he pinned him to the ground and literally punched the armor off instead of you fighting him with swords.
Nice. That's badass.
"You embarrassed my cousin by refusing to fight properly. I demand that this farce be invalidated." "I've told you, Prince Relis," you see the High Judge say from behind. "Prince Adolin didn't break any..." "You want your cousin's plate back?" You hear Adolin ask, meeting Relis's eyes. "Fight me for it." "I won't be goaded by you," as you see Relis tap the center of Adolin's breastplate. "I won't let you pull me into another one of your dueling farces." 6 shards, Relis. Mine, those of my brother, Yvadru's plate, and your cousin's plate. I'll wager them on a single bout, you and me. "You are a dunnard if you think I'd agree to that." "Too afraid?" "You're beneath me, Colin. These last 2 fights prove it. You don't even know how to duel anymore. All you are tricks." "Then you should be able to beat me easily." You see Relis waver, kind of shifting from one foot to the other. Finally, he pointed at Adolin again. "You're a bastard, Colin. I know you fought my cousin to embarrass my father and myself. I refuse to be goaded," as he turns to leave. If you're afraid, you don't have to do alone, you hear him say, with this cocky smile on his face. See Relic stop in place. He looks back. Are you saying you'll take me on with anyone else at the same time? I am. I'll fight you and whomever you bring together. You are a fool. Yes or no? 2 days here in the arena. And he turns towards the High Judge. You witness this? I do. You see Relis storm out, the others trailing after. The High Judge lingered regarding Adolin. You realize what you have done. I know the dueling convention quite well. Yes, I'm aware. You see the High Judge give a deep sigh and nod before walking out. You'll see Adolin as everybody walks out, turn towards Shallan. Will that do for spectacular? You really think you could beat two at once? Adolin didn't reply at first. You can see him kind of visualizing. I don't know, but I wanted spectacular, so I'll try for spectacular. Now I hope you actually have a plan. You see Shallan sit down next to him. What do you know of High Prince Yanem? And they go about strategizing. By the way, those of you who are keeping an eye on it, you notice that Shallan definitely has Kaladin's boots.
Shallan's wearing Kaladin's boots?
Yeah, you remember Kaladin telling you a story of how a quote horn eater princess demanded his boots as retribution for some insult.
Wait, Shallan's a Herdasian?
No.
Horn eater.
Yeah, I thought
Neither of those.
the Herdasians were the Horn Eaters.
No. Herdasians are the Space Australians. Horn eaters are Toomey and Rock.
Gotcha.
And Shallan is Yakovetti. She was bullshitting.
Okay. Okay.
You okay?
In any case, as 2 days pass. You all are at the dueling arena where the stands are pretty much packed full. Way that is Shallan. Is pretty much packed full. Everybody hearing that there is going to be a disadvantage bout going on today. Those of you who are down in the dueling room will hear a brief conversation go on between Dalinar and Son. You really think you could beat two shard bearers on your own? Again, you see him think for a bit. Nah, I'd win. As you see Dalinar look down, nod, pat him on the shoulder, and then begin to leave.
Just Adolin here in the blue armor?
Yeah.
That's a dope ass suit of armor.
You guys will see most of the bridge crew, especially your entire squad, as well as Moash and a few others, sat around. You'll see the king in his stands with Dalinar right next to him. And on the other side, in a shaded tent, you guys are going to see the High Judge as well. Those of you who are inside, which in this circumstance will be Volverix, Raphael, and Toomey. You'll see Adolin kneeling beside his sword in the preparation room. Roll perception checks, you three. Ooh, there's a natty one. Varix, it's pretty soft, but you do hear Adolin talking to the sword again. Comes down to this. Let's go be spectacular, then wipe that smile off Sadius's face. As he stands up, he dismisses the blade, and it leaves the small preparation room. The rest of you will filter up and into kind of the edge of the ring as he does. As you all see Adolin approaching the edge of the ring, you'll see Navani stop by and offer him a glyph ward for prayer. And he'll essentially just shake his head and pull out a what looks like a full hand-painted set. The girl? Yeah. The calligraphy isn't bad. She's quite a wonderful aunt. I wish you'd give her more of a chance, and she does want to share her scholarship with you. We'll see, you hear Navani say. I'm worried. Father thinks the plan could work, and Elokar really likes it. Elokar can be impulsive. The terms change things. Yeah, the terms wasn't a 2-on-1, and this duel would not go. This duel would be going until one of them surrendered, not a certain amount of plates being broken on the shard plate. I think the plan's a good one. You hear Renarin saying, "You could do this. They're going to try to break you. That's why they insisted on this match until surrender. They leave you crippled if they can, Adolin. No different from any battlefield. Actually, in this case, they'll want to leave me alive. It'll work better as an object lesson with the blade-dead legs that I would have as ashes." You see Navani close her eyes and shake her head as she takes a breath. Make sure you don't give Sadius any outs, you hear Renarin say. When you corner him with the challenge, he will look for a way to escape. Don't let him. Bring him down to that sand and beat him to a bloody pulp, brother. With pleasure. Okay, chicken? 2 plates of the stuff with curry. Got Mother's chain? You see Adolin reach down into his pocket. And he checks. He checks. As he suddenly goes into a cold sweat. What? I could have sworn I just slipped it in. You see Renarin curse. Might be in one of the back rooms of the war camp on my end table. It was a good luck charm. Didn't mean much, but you see Adolin start to sweat anyways. Regardless, Adolin's armor starts slowly putting on his plate. You see him take a deep breath, and he pushes open the doors. As he does, you all filter out to the top. And as you go, you see one man in full shard plate step out on the other side, and then a second, and then a third, and then a fourth. Those of you directly by Dalinar will hear him leap to his feet. 4? You see Kaladin step downwards towards the edge of the arena, looking down. What is this? You hear Dalinar bellow at Sadius, who is not away, just down in the stands. Why do you ask me? None of those men are mine. I'm just an observer today. Oh, don't be tiresome, Sadius, you hear Elokar say. You know full well what's happening. Why are there 4? Is Adolin supposed to pick the 2 he wants to duel? 2? When was it said that he would fight 2? That's what he said when he set up the duel. Paired disadvantage duel, 2 against 1, as per the dueling conventions. Actually, that's not what young Adolin agreed to. Why, I have it on good authority that he told Prince Relis, I'll fight you and whomever you bring. I don't hear any specification of a number in there, which subjects Adolin to a full disadvantage duel, not a paired duel. Relis may bring as many as he wishes. I know several scribes who recorded Adolin's precise words, and I hear the High Bridge asked him specifically if he understood what he was doing, and he said that he did.
God, I hate Sadius so much.
You hear Dalinar have this low throat
He's such
growl.
a prick.
The wardens want Dalinar to trust him? Are you fucking kidding me?
I was like, bro, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy.
You hear Dalinar growl this low throaty growl as he almost seems like a beast barely contained on his chain. But you see him sit down and contain himself. He outthought us. Again, we'll need to retreat and consider our next move. Somebody tell Adolin to pull out of the contest. Are you certain? Pulling out would require Adolin to forfeit. Uncle, that's 6 shards. I believe it's everything you own. You could see, as you looked over, Kaladin and Garrick studying Dalinar's face as you see conflict going across it. Giving up without a fight, probably the right thing to do. But that's the Blackthorn sat there. Below, after an extended pause, frozen in the sand, you see Adolin raise his hand in a sign of agreement as the judge began the duel.
Fucking Adolin.
This is wrong.
You got that right. You guys can almost hear the internal monologue as Adolin starts kind of scattering off to the side as he just hear through his body language. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Fuck.
Be out here fighting Shardplate Captain America and Shardplate Thor. Yeah, I saw those when I was Googling Shardplate the other day. Just for a bit there, I pictured Shardplate more like Warhammer armor.
No. It's interesting. Anyways, yeah, you see Adolin kind of start jogging backwards across the sand-covered circle of an arena as he puts his back to the wall to avoid being completely surrounded. You can see again in his body language just, fuck, I'm done.
Oh, goddamn it, Adolin.
In any case, you see the blade form in Adolin's hands as the others start to slowly surround him. You'll hear the crowd kind of starting to shout, "One at a time, lad!" And those of you who are close, specifically to me, you recognize the voice as Zahel's. You're not cornered. As Relis steps forward, in a quick motion, you see him test Adolin's defenses, which you see Adolin dance away with Wind Stance, what you now recognize as Wind Stance. You see Relis test forward again, sweeping out with his blade. They're scared of you. Do you see it in them? Show them why. You see Adolin hesitate as Rella steps forward, making a stone stance strike. Stone stance is strong, but it's also immobile. You see Elite, the one on the side here, come in next. He has not a shard blade, but a shard hammer. It's not actually a shard hammer. They're giant hammers used by shard bears who don't have blades.
Great for digging latrines.
Yeah,
It's really not
exactly.
much better either way.
Yeah, no. Yeah, as you see the hammer come in, you see Adolin strike forward and do a bash right onto the center of his arm. Luis, specifically, this is an interesting fight because you've seen white spine hunts like this, where it's kind of several people trying to prod them into one corner with their spears. And you'll kind of see them slowly starting to box him in. Adolin attacked at this moment, leaping forward with a barrage of strikes on Relis. You see Elite jump away with a curse as he did. Adolin, you hear shouting beneath his helm as he beat against Relis, throwing strikes on the helm and the left vambrace, cracking the latter. Stormlight rose from Relis's forearm as Elite recovered. Adolin spun on him and struck, leaving Relis dazed from the attack. His assault forced Elite to lower his hammer and block with his forearm instead, lest Adolin slice the hammer in two and leave him unarmed. You kind of see a moment of Adolin stop as he just begins smashing and turning in a wave slashes. Everybody roll a perception check.
Percepciones.
Dice are not my friends tonight.
Lol, Luis, to me. You all will see beneath the 4 shard bearers that are facing Adolin, you see Fierceprin start to rise out like little sinuous purple hands that are clutching.
At who?
The
Four dudes?
the 4 shard bearers who are surrounding Adolin. There's
They
some
scared.
definite Fierceprin going on,
They scared.
despite being 4-on-1. You see Elite approach wary as Relis scrambled to his feet. Adolin fell back into wind stance, sweeping about himself in wide, fluid motions. Leech jumped away, and Arabar, the one in this armor here, stumbled backwards, gauntlet in hand against the wall, gauntleted hand falling against the wall of the arena. You see Adolin turn back at Relis, who recovered well, all things considered. Still, Adolin got a second strike on the champion's breastplate. If this had been a battlefield and these common foes, Relis would be dead in a moment. Elite maimed, and Adolin would still be untouched. But they weren't common foes. They were shard bearers. And a second strike against Relis's breastplate didn't break the armor. Adolin was forced to turn on Arabar before he wanted to. The man was now braced for a fury of assault, sword raised defensively. Adolin's barrage didn't stun him this time. The man weathered it while Elite and Relius got into position. Just need to, as something crashes into Adolin as he turns. The other shard bearer rashing him into the wall. This one is Jakimov. Ironically, used to run with Adolin's crew and be a pretty good friend. As he does, you'll see a puff of Stormlight cracking out from the front of Adolin's breastplate. You see Adolin raise his sword to Yakimov's next attack, but this opened his left flank, where Elite swung, his hammer crashing into Adolin's side, plate cracking and blow shoving Adolin off balance. He swept around himself. You see him starting to grow desperate. His foes weren't backing away. Instead, this time, Yakimov charged in again, head down, not even swinging. It was smart. His armor was unscored, so even if he got hit, it wouldn't break. Adolin just starts slamming his sword down and hitting the man on the back again and again, but it threw Adolin out of his stance. He stumbled backwards, barely keeping from being thrown to the ground as Yakimov crashed into him. Adolin shoved the man aside, somehow keeping hold of his shard blade, but the other three moved in. Blows rained down on his shoulders, his helm, his breastplate. That hammer was seeming to hit the hardest. You roll another perception check to me, Louise, and Varix.
Luis or me?
Louise.
I hate everything.
Okay. To me, you hear very, very muffled from Adolin's helm as this assault keeps crashing down on him. I yield. But you're the only one who hears it. They continue attacking, and he tries to say it louder. Nobody hears it. You see,
Can I yell out in the stands that he yields?
you can try. You're getting the sense that nobody's really going to be paying
Nobody
much
cares.
attention to you. You see him raise his arm as if to signal that he has surrendered. But immediately you see his arm slammed downwards by one of the other shard bearers. Until the high judge herself heard him, this fight was not going to end. Back on the balcony, Garrick, Lowell, Pelinar, and Khaled, you'll hear Dalinar. That's it. As he watches the shard bearers taking turns coming down and swings on Adolin. The rules allow Adolin to have help, so as long as his side is disadvantaged, one less than Relis's team,
I walk
fine.
up right next to him, then let's go help him. I have your
Elokar,
back.
as you are in the middle of suggesting this, Elokar, I need your shard blade.
Okay, well, shit. Do it.
No, as you see the king fold his arms beneath
Can I
the shade.
assist an intimidation check from him? Because I don't have intimidation,
Elokar.
but I bet you Kaladin does.
Elokar, that is my son. You're without plate. If you take the time to put some on, you'll be too late. If you go down like this, you won't save Adolin, you'll simply lose my blade as well as the others. You see Dalinar clench his teeth.
He's your cousin.
Well, why
You
don't
could
you go
help
down
him,
there?
you hear Sadius's voice from the side. The dueling conventions don't forbid it. I checked to make sure. Young Adolin can be helped by up to 2 people. The Blackthorn I once knew would have gone down there ready to fight with a rock if he had to. But I guess you're not that man anymore. You see Dalinar suck in breath and stand. Elokar, I'll pay the fee and borrow your blade by right of tradition of the king's blade. You won't risk it that way. I am going to fight. You see Elokar catch him by the arm. Don't be a fool, uncle. Listen to him. Do you see what he's doing? He obviously wants you to go down and fight. Uncle, listen to me for once. Be a little paranoid. Why would Sadius want you down there? So that an accident can occur? He wants you removed. Dalinar, I guarantee that if you step down into those sands, all 4 will attack you straight out. Shardblade or none. You'll be dead before you get into stance.
Right, Lord. I'll go down.
You'll be dead just as quickly. As you see him
Better than me
step
than him.
off to the side. And then you hear something from the side. As you all look down, we'll see the young face of Renar having slid down the
Renaro,
These-
no! No!
the shard blade having summoned into his hands. He seems shaky as he's holding it. You'll hear one of the, or you'll see one of the attackers move away as the plated fleet crunched into the sand. Adolin threw himself in that direction, battering his way out, and barely getting free from the other three. There weren't any broken sections on his armor, but each one was just steaming off Stormlight. Adolin, you hear Relis say, "Now we wouldn't want to end this prematurely, would we? What glory do you think will come of such a fight? You think the people will cheer for you for beating a man 4 against 1? This isn't for honor. This is simple punishment." As you finally see Adolin notice Renarin standing in the arena, his shard blade kind of down towards the sand as it shakes. "Renarin, what in the storms are you doing? Go back!" And you see Arabar attack. Renarin parried away awkwardly, as Renarin had done all of his sparring in the shard plate so far, but hadn't had enough time to fetch his plate. Arabar's blow just about knocked the weapon from Renarin's hand. Now, Arabar there is fond of young Renarin. He doesn't want to hurt him, so he'll just keep the young man engaged and make a good fight of it, so long as you're willing to keep up what you're promised. Now have a good duel with us. Surrender like a coward, or get the king to end the bout, and Arabar's sword might just slip. So, as you hear Adolin kind of through clearly gritted teeth, "Bastards, how dare you be a part of this," as he looks over at his old friend. So, shall we? With that, you see Adolin begin to charge. On the other side, you all will see Dalinar going out into the crowd as he's looking for one person in particular. "It's time to end this, Ishtal," as he calls back at the High Judge. "Call the fight, award the victory to Relis's team." So you see the woman keep her eyes forward. "Did you hear me?" "Fine, I'll end it then. I am High Prince here, Dalinar. In this arena, my word is the only law, granted to me by the authority of the king. Your son has not surrendered and is not incapacitated. The terms of the duel have not been met, and it will not end until they have been. Have you no respect for the law?" You see Dalinar growl as he grinds his teeth together and looks back out at the arena. You see him just get sick as he turns to the spectating light eyes. "You can watch this. My son's fight alone. There are shard bearers amongst you. Is there not one of you who will fight with them?" As he scans the crowd, the king was looking at his feet. And then you see Dalinar's eyes meet Amaram's. That faux Knight's Radiant cloak draped over him. As he meets Dalinar's eyes and then looks away. "What happened to us? Where is our honor?" Garrick, at this point that you hear, "Honor's dead." As Dalinar looks and sees Kaladin. "But I'll see what I could do. If this goes poorly, take care of my men." As you see Kaladin slip into the...
Okay, then.
Big Sir Duncan the Tall energy right now. For maybe, I'm guessing maybe one of you, if you've gone into the Hedge Knight. Well, shit.
In any case. So now we're at the point where everybody is in the arena that can be in the arena, but you guys are more than welcome to try to help in any underhanded way that you can think of.
I
Just try
am
not to
going
make it
to
obvious.
once again conjure the image of Axiom next to.
Roll an intelligence check.
Okay.
What I just posted in the chat, that middle panel, that's the energy I'm getting right now. The no true knights among you.
If you were to conjure the shard bearer in there or another anything, it would immediately disqualify. Because it's a
Okay,
disadvantaged fighting.
could I conjure a very miniature false hydra image?
I don't think
You
this conjuring anything's a good idea.
You might want to be more subtle. Maybe stick to sounds or distractions of some kind. Or alternatively, you have a Rogo that could go in and distract people.
I'll think about this.
So nobody else is allowed in the arena, right?
Nobody else is allowed in the arena.
Okay.
But if you can help in a quiet, underhanded way that nobody will notice, you may do so.
Is there any way that I could get within 10 feet of somebody? Like on the rail, maybe?
Sure. Who are you trying to get within 10 feet of?
Maybe like I guess one of these guys. I want to try something. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Sure.
But I wanted to try it on myself. But instead, I want to try to use abrasion to increase the friction on like one of their boots to see if it would make them stick or slow them down in any way.
Okay.
I use gravitation to kill Sarius. Throw his ass to space.
You probably could, but that might be a death sentence.
Worth it.
Don't sit down yet.
Yes, actually, they're
could I
Mr. Lowell.
convince the shard plate on one of them to transform into something else?
Do you go into the cognitive plane to attempt to do so?
I mean, I could. That would be the safest way to do this. I don't think I'm walking out there going, hey.
Yeah. As you reach into the cognitive plane, you see that, interestingly enough, the armor is still fully intact in the cognitive plane, where everything else is marbles and it's actual armor.
God damn. All my stuff requires touch, so I'm useless.
Hey, man, you got a brash.
I do
Okay,
have a
well,
brash.
Then, going with another idea, can I use my illusion to create a loud explosion size bang inside one of their helmets, like a deafening boom, like a blow your eardrums out boom?
You're goddamn right you can. Aha, here we go. Mr. Lowell, if you reload your page, added the spell that you so to recognize it pretty quickly.
I can make a other phenomenon. So I'm gonna make essentially right in front of their eyes just a vision that's about this big. It's just going to be a picture of a false hydra, and then it's going to make the loud earth-shattering boom because I have to create an image that then can make sound.
Yeah. You like that name there, Mr. Cam?
I definitely do. I'd like to use that.
Cast away.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. There is. How am I supposed to cast this? There we go. Just kidding. Did that work? What am I looking for here?
That worked.
Okay. And I'd like to do it. It's a 10-foot, 10 square foot area. Can I do it like in between these two?
These two?
Yeah.
Yeah, easily. Cool. Alrighty.
And then that's 2.
And I'd like to do something if possible.
Sure.
Is there any way I can get Brash to basically blow this guy away from Renarin or just bombard him with a super powerful wind? He's a wind sprint, isn't he?
Honor sprint, technically. But you get the sense that Brash can't really do that so much, but he could be distracting if you would like him to.
No. Brash. That one with the red cape in front of Renarin. I need you to keep him away from the boy. Can you do that for me?
I'll do my best, as you'll see him streak off.
Thank
No,
you, friend.
Hey,
I'm
hey,
sorry. Real quick.
Atra.
It's
Yeah?
50.
You know how you like to go really inky sometimes?
Sure.
Do you want to try going really inky in front of one of their eye holes? Just blind them for a little bit.
That sounds unpleasant, but yeah, I could do that as you see him do a dive off you as he turns into what looks like a viscous liquid and bloop, goes into a pool.
Have
on
fun,
the
be
ground.
safe.
It's 50 electrum for every 1 platinum.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
You got this down, I swear.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. In any case, you all will see Kaladin dash across the the arena floor as you're Garrick. You're the only one close enough to hear this. This is better and differently than it did last time.
What happened last time?
You saw what happened last time. He got his
Oh,
shard
that's
plays
right.
stolen and his
That's
squad
right.
massacred by the Amaranth soul
We
who's
can
in the
only
crowd
hope.
there.
At least we're still abiding by our honor.
In any case, you hear Syl. It will. Trust me. You see one of the shard bearers having Stormlight already steaming from a crack in his left forearm as he glances at Kaladin.
I was asking you whether this was me. I was going to put it in there, but you already did it.
And then immediately turns back away indifferently, as clearly he didn't think that Kaladin was too much of a threat. Those of
Don't
you
regret that.
who know to look for it will see him stuck in some Stormlight as on a bright day, the actual glowing is not going to be too well seen. But you guys look real close and you could notice it. As you'll see him speed up and lunge between the two shard bearers. Who are getting close to Adolin. You see Adolin glance over at Kaladin and then quickly turn his back towards him as they go back to back, making sure that essentially they got two-pronged fighting. It's at about this point that Atra will climb into the small slit of this one. Go ahead and roll a oh god. What would a distraction check even be?
Deception, I would feel.
A blinding check.
Yeah, I guess deception.
Deception?
Yeah. Cool.
Hey.
Yeah. You will see suddenly that shard bearer shake his head as he seems to not be able to see at the moment. It's at this point also that Lul, your walk upon glass will trigger between these two, and their boots will kind of be grinding into the ground as they move them through the soft, silty area. Which, Mr. Luis, which one did you want to do the the shatter inside of?
Well, this
We're not
guy
even-
looks like a cool Gundam, and this guy looks like a cool Gundam. So we're gonna fuck with this asshole.
Okay. Yeah. So go ahead and roll a performance check.
The
See how you
blue
do.
one is Captain America.
El Capitan. Okay. Yeah.
Bang.
you you guys will barely hear it over the crowd noise, but there's a significant right in that guy's helmet as he raises his hands up to his side. He seems dazed. And lastly,
Like putting a firecracker inside of a fucking iron pot.
yeah, exactly. Lastly, Mr. Pellinar, if you could do a yeah, that would also be a deception check for the
All
distraction.
right. Deception. Where to
Oh,
go?
by the way, Luis, to actually get the illusion in there of the sound, you had to set it on Rogo. So you see little Rogo skitter to the helmet and then skitter back out.
Not great,
yeah.
but my best roll of the night.
Yeah,
So
certainly not bad. All right. Yeah, so the one who is currently engaging Renarin is definitely distracted in some way. Good job. It was 3 successes. Well done. And then yeah, different brain. So that. It's at this point that those of you who are closest will hear Adolin and Kaladin talking. What are you doing here, Bridge Boy? Playing one of the 10
Bridge
fools.
boy.
Welcome to the party. I won't be able to get through the armor. You'll need to crack it for me. I need to grab water. Sorry.
Okay. So candy bars.
I would literally fall asleep on the desk.
Not pipes.
God damn it.
In any case,
It's a suggestion.
just keep one of them distracted and away from. I could handle 2. All right. Keep an eye on my brother if you can. If things go sour for these 3, they might decide to use him as leverage against us. Done. As you see Kaladin pull away and jump to the side as the one with the warhammer smashes it down right by him. You see Relis come in from the other side, swinging as if to cut through Kaladin and hit Adolin. You see every instinct in Kaladin suddenly jump to life as if his body, it's like a cat when it has cackles raised, you know, it's like just high alert. But you see him twist around Relis, dodging the blade. You see this one try to kind of sweep around and go after Adolin, but the glass is significantly slowing his pace. So instead, you see him go more on the offensive with Kaladin. Kaladin spin and get just out of the way of one of his attacks as Relis started cursing, then turned back to fight with it. You see you see Kaladin go up and slap him on the side of his head with the butt of his spear. As kind of rings. You see Relis turn and sweep out with his blade, and Kaladin pulls back a hair too slowly as the beam sheared the point off of his spear. All that's left really now is just a bow staff, essentially. You see Kaladin try to lead Relis further off, but largely he's just at this point. You see Adolin fighting desperately against his two opponents, swinging his blade back and forth, each to the men on each side of him. He was good. Adolin was extremely good, especially for a very much so weakened plate of armor. You see Adolin frequently coming in within inches of striking his opponents. 2 against 1 actually seemed like a really even fight for Adolin. 3 would obviously be. So you see Kaladin have to kind of distract him somehow. This is fun. As Relis starts stepping towards Adolin, you see Kaladin with the impaired vision and auditory areas of the other 2 shard bearers. Nobody notices it, but you'll see Kaladin sprinting towards the back of the shard bearer as suddenly he jumps into a dropkick formation. And specifically you, Pelinar, recognize exactly what he does as he lashes himself, and he lashes himself again, and he lashes himself again
Oh,
3
no.
times directly into the back of this shard bearer.
Oh, shit.
As you see the shard bearer get completely knocked right in front of Kaladin there, which also actually deals damage because he is currently face planted into the walk upon glass. And you'll also see significant cracks all the way through the back of this shard arm.
Good.
You'll also see Kaladin's feet just crumple, like they're fucked looking, as they suddenly snap back into place with the storm. You see Kaladin groaning as he sits back up. Oh, I apologize. I was actually wrong. Interestingly enough, so it didn't actually crack the area where his feet hit. It cracked the sides. So the areas where the armor joints met. So there was so much stress put on the weight from that direction that it shattered most of the sections instead. You see just beyond that, Relis look back at Kaladin with what looks like kind of a body language of just sheer unadulterated awe and confusion at what the fuck just happened to him. In any case, beyond the fallen man, you'll see Adolin spin and come to one of his opponents, Elite, the one with the hammer, as he slams the shard blade two-handed right into the man's chest. The breastplate there exploded into molten light. Adolin took a hit on the side of his helm from the man to do it, but the center section of that shard plate wouldn't be working. Adolin was in pretty rough shape. Practically every piece of was leaking Stormlight, and at this rate, he'd soon not have any left, as the plate would grow too heavy for him to even move. For now, fortunately, he practically incapacitated one of the shard bearers. Adolin had turned to fight the other shard bearer near him on the other side of the arena. The 4th man, the one who had been fighting, quote-unquote, Renard, was waving his sword at the ground for some reason. Roll perception checks. Wow. Goddamn.
Jesus. The dice hate
Damn.
me tonight. I'm
Yeah.
closing my window.
It's an natty one night.
Dude,
It's a bit
Yeah.
ironic that it was Mr. Luis who got
that's
a
a
natural one in this
5.
one. Lol, you're the only one who spots this. At the feet, just in front of this shard bearer, There's Rogo. Like, it's clearly just Rogo spinning there and distracting
Okay.
him. And then as you look closer, that's not Rogo. That's a different pattern. It's spiraling in there. And you see Rogo up by
Anti-Rogo.
Luis. That's weird.
Interesting.
That's strange.
Alrighty. So that'll be the first round of successes. Is there anything that Varix, Garrick, or would ask Raphael here? Varix, Garrick, that you would like to do to attempt to assist?
I would like to attempt to assist this.
Me too.
How so?
So I can't directly assist, I assume. Otherwise, that technically breaks.
Yeah, that would be a forfeit. So you can't go into the arena and you can't make anything that would appear as if there is another fighter in the arena, because that would disqualify.
But
him
if I
just as
threw
easily.
something in,
What were you
Cheating.
thinking of throwing in? And I'll tell you if it's
a rock,
A rock.
yeah. No, that would technically make
specifically not at one of them, but near one of them to distract one of them.
you a combat.
Basically, I'm just trying to impose disadvantage on them hitting our buddies.
You could do something with your illusion if you prefer, or illumination rather.
Ooh. I'm gonna make it so that way it is harder to hit Kaladin. I'll make it kind of almost look like there's an after image of him that kind of travels behind him, so it's harder to keep up with him.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you guys will suddenly see that'll be a Stormlight level.
Yep, that's fine.
It's as if there's Kaladin's moving so fast, and he already, like, you've seen him in full action, and it always kind of seems like the wind is bending around him. In this circumstance, you're actually seeing it's as if he's moving so fast that he's leaving these strange after images that make it slightly more difficult to hit him.
Blur.
Thank you, Air.
Cool. Varix, what do?
Well, I want to use Shape Earth.
Okay.
But what I want to do, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But
In
I
the
mean, it
meantime,
would have to be some movement impairing type thing under their
Sure.
feet with the sand, whether it's
Sure.
making it soft or.
Okay, just like in this general area, you're trying to kind of make soft,
Yeah.
so they sink in. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily enough. One Stormlight level, as you will put your hands kind of on the rail and feel the Stormlight extend down to the ground. You'll start to make the ground softer as you actually see the one with the cracked chest plate start to kind of slowly sink a little bit.
That's just like that.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll roll an Arcana check there, Mr. Varix, and then Mr. Garrick, roll a Deception.
Can I roll
Deception?
Can I roll something
Deception.
else? I don't like
Could I roll Arcana? For the love
I
of God.
volunteer you for a natural 1.
Okay.
8.
Oh my
Cool,
God,
cool.
wait, do I have to write another natural one down? Holy shit.
Almost broke 2 digits.
Oh yeah, you're real close.
Last week was
Number
Nat 20 week.
56.
Last
This
week
is
was
Nat
Nat
1.
20 week. This week is Nat 1 week.
45, 50, 55, 60.
Look at that deception.
50, it's 56 to 62 right
Okay.
now is where we're at. I won't tell you which is which.
So Garrick, as you're kind of focusing on this illusion, you'll look back and see Dalinar kind of squinting at you. As you get the feeling you might
He's
be
no true king. Fuck him. I'm just kidding.
You might be glowing a little. But regardless. Yeah, so you'll see this individual turn back to try to go and fight to fight Adolin again, as he kind of is starting to have to trudge through the ground. It's slightly quicksandy. To me, You'll hear Syl as she's nearby. Oh, we don't have Tammy. Yeah. Yeah, you'll see Kaladin scramble to his feet as he charges towards Elite, and just kicking behind him as he goes. Headless spear clutched in one hand. You see Elite wobbling towards Adolin, intending to continue the fight despite his disabled plate. Kaladin reaches him first, goes around, and lands on top of this guy. As smashes the butt of the broken spear directly into Elite's exposed chest, making a satisfying crunch as the man let out an enormous gasp, doubling over. Kaladin raised his spear and spear to swing again, but the man lifted a wobbling hand and tried to say something. Louder. You see the man try, but he's out of breath as he raised his hand, however, seemed to be enough as the judge spoke. Bright Lord Elite yields the combat. You see a very reluctant high judge say.
Oh, she can hear now.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid bitch.
Kaladin backs away from the cowering man. The light in... a light in his... is the stormlight that he breathed in from the inside of this shard plate started to fill him. 3 shard bearers remained. Relis was now back with his companion. Both were attempting to harry Adolin, and they had the prince backed up against the wall. The other shard bearer, having left Renarn behind, arrived to join them. Renarn sat on the sand, his head bowed, shard blades stuck into the ground before him. You're thinking for a second, like, was he defeated? What the hell happened? But there wasn't a announcement from the judge, so guess not. In any case, you see Adolin once again having 3 people to fight. Relis scored a hit on his helm, and the thing exploded, exposing the prince's face. He wouldn't last much longer. You see Kaladin charge up behind Elite, who was trying to hobble off the field in defeat. Remove your helm. What? As you see, Elite turned back to him in a shocked posture. Your helm! As you see Kaladin scream, raising his weapon to strike again. In the stands, you hear people shouting. Kaladin wasn't sure clearly of the rules, but in the moment, the surprise of being ordered by Dark Eyes, you see Elite shake his head as he gives him the helm and begins walking back further. You'll see Kaladin gripping the helm on the inside as if a boxing glove as he re-engages. It's interesting. The shard plate helm molded directly around Kaladin's hand, as if it was like strangely living.
Does what it
taking
needs to.
You see
Kaladin's
Kaladin
Parshendi.
You see Kaladin take out drop the bow staff that he was essentially using and pull out his side knife, which was primarily meant for throwing. You see as Kaladin charges in, Relis back up immediately this time. As Kaladin advanced, backing him away slowly, as Adolin was able to re-engage with just 2 on him. Alrighty. Another part. Oh, let's see here. Lowell, Toomey, and Luis, you all have the opportunity to assist in some way if you so desire, or if you don't. Either way.
Can I just have Atrick keep trying to blind him?
Oh, yeah.
All my shit is touch. Where did my map go?
Can I try and manipulate the ground underneath Home Slice Kaladin's fighting?
Yeah, sure. You reach into the cognitive plane, find the individual marble that is down there, and it seems to be the ground just underneath that dude's feet. What are you saying?
Well, I'm too tired to think of anything else, so I'm gonna say change, motherfucker.
Roll an intimidation check.
Damn it.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll give you a chance. Higher or lower?
Higher.
Nope.
Well, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and drop another image of light and do another firecracker firework.
You fuck up this man's eardrums again. Cool. Lol, you want to do anything?
I don't think so.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah. You guys will see at this point Kaladin kind of making a show of it, as it seems like Relish can't exactly see the best, but the shard bearer keeps backing up as Kaladin kind of ducks in and kind of goes for like a feint before backing and going in. Yeah, you see Kaladin largely kind of trying to goad him into something. Shard bearers would typically be much happier with the kind of distance fighting. Tighter quarters would favor Kaladin's knife. But as you see Kaladin kind of pushing him further back, you'll see Kaladin smile as he turns around and re-engages with the other two assholes.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys are going to see Relis standing there in an anxious pose as he's momentarily befuddled by Kaladin's retreat. As you see Adolin glance over at Kaladin and then nod. The man in green turned the man closest to him right here turned in surprise as as Kaladin's advance. As he swung, Kaladin caught the blow on the shard plate helm that he carried in his hand and deflected it. The man grunted as Adolin threw everything he had into the other shard bearer. The one who was engaging with Renarin slammed his weapon down on him again. For a short time, Adolin only had one foe to fight, and hopefully he could use that time well. You see the shard bearer attack Kaladin again, who deflected the blow off the helm, which cracked and began leaking Stormlight. Relis came charging in on the other side, but didn't join the fight against Adolin, and instead he thrust at Kaladin. See Kaladin grit his teeth as he dodged to the side, feeling the blade pass in the air. He had to buy Adolin time, moments. He just needed moments. The wind began to blow around him as the afterimage seemed to come in to help right at this moment, not quite able to find exact purchase. You see Kaladin duck another blow and then slam his improvised shield against the blade of the other, throwing it back. Sand flew as Kaladin leapt back, a shard blade biting the ground before him. Wind, motion, Kaladin fought two shard bearers at once, knocking their blades aside with the helm. He couldn't attack. He didn't dare try to attack. He could only survive. And this, the wind seemed to urge him. Instinct. Something deeper guided his steps. The distance between those blades, the cool air wrapped around him. For a moment, he felt impossibly that he could have dodged as well as if his eyes had been closed. The shard bearers cursed, trying again and again. Kaladin heard the judge saying something, but he was too absorbed in the fight to pay attention. The crowd around was growing louder. He leapt one attack, then stepped into the side of the other. You could not kill the wind. You couldn't stop it. It was beyond the touch of men. And then you see his Stormlight suddenly run out. Kaladin suddenly stumbled to a halt. He tried to suck in more, but it seemed that all of his spheres were drained. The helm, as he looked down, and you all as well, noticed that it was gushing stormlight from it. Its numerous cracks hadn't yet exploded. It was feeding on his stormlight somehow. It was at this point that one of the shard bearers raised his blade when somebody hops on him from behind, namely Adolin, crashing down to the ground. Kaladin watched dumbfounded as Adolin grappled with the shard bearer, latching onto him. Adolin's armor hardly leaked anymore. His stormlight was exhausted. It seemed that he could barely move. The sand nearby displayed this set of lurching tracks that led away from the other shard bearer who was fighting Renarin, who lay on the sand defeated. That's what the judge was saying earlier. The man in orange had yielded. Or red, rather. Adolin had beaten his foe, then walked slowly, one laborious step after another, to where Kaladin fought. It looked like he used this final bit of energy to hop on Creanplate's back and grab hold. You see the shard bearer curse and swat at Adolin, but Adolin held on. The plate had locked, as they called it, becoming heavy and impossible to move. You see Kaladin look over at Relis, who glanced from the fallen shard plate to the man who was fighting Renarin, and then to Kaladin. Relis turned and dashed across the sands towards Renarin. You see Kaladin curse as he scrambled after him, tossing the helm aside. His body felt sluggish without Stormlight, and it looked sluggish. Renarin, yield! You hear Kaladin yell. The boy looked up. He had been crying. Was he hurt? He didn't look at. Surrender! You hear Kaladin shout again as he ran faster, summoning every drop of energy from his muscles. You see Renarin suddenly focus on Relis, who was bearing down on him, and he didn't do anything. Instead, Renarin dismissed his blade. Relis skidded to a stop and raised his blade high overhead towards the defenseless prince. Renarin closed his eyes and looked upwards, as if exposing his throat. Kaladin wasn't going to arrive on time. Too slow compared to this man in plate. But you see Relis hesitate for a moment, fortunately. As if unsure whether to strike Renarin. Kaladin arrived. Relis spun around and swung at him instead. Kaladin skidded to his knees in the sand, momentum carrying him forward the short distance that the blade fell. As for a moment, it appears as if the blade was about to slice directly through Kaladin when whoosh, you see the last clap.
Nice. Thug life.
And as he clenches the blade, in every single one of your heads, you hear screaming. Screaming, screaming, screaming. It sounded like your Sprin's voices all at once. It reverberated through you. It was horrible. That screech shook you, made your muscles tremble. As you suddenly see Kaladin release the shard blade and fall backwards. Relis drops the blade, disappears into mist as if bitten, and he backed away, raising his hands to his head. What is it? What is it? No, I didn't kill you. You hear Relis shriek as if in great pain, and then ran across the sands, pulled open the door to the preparation room, and escaped. That screaming was awful. High Lord Relis Ruthar forfeits by cause of leaving the dueling arena. Bitch. As you see Kaladin climb, trembling to his feet, and he glanced over at Renarin, who was fine. And then, ever so slowly, you see Kaladin cross the arena again, back to where Adolin is currently just grappled on to the other final remaining shard bearer. Stand up and fight me! You hear the man shouting as Kaladin knelt down. You see the shard bearer struggle even more as Kaladin retrieved his side knife from the sand and then pressed the tip into the opening of the shard bearer's armor. The man grew perfectly still. You going to yield, or do I get to kill my second shard bearer? You hear silence. Storms curse you both. This wasn't a duel, this was a circus. Grappling is the way of cowards. As you see Kaladin press the knife in further. Storms you! I yield! I yield. Bright Lord Yakimov yields. The day goes to Bright Lord Adolin. As you see all the dark eyes in the crowd cheer and stand, while the light eyes seem stunned. That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever done, you hear Adolin say. Oh, I think I just won 3 full suits of plate and 2 blades, Bridge Boy. Here, help me get this armor off. Your armorer could do that. No time. Storm's completely trained. Hurry up, help with this. There's something yet for me to do. And you remember the challenge towards Sadius. That was the point of the whole deal. As you see Kaladin begin to unarmor good old Adolin, he pulls him off. As you see Kaladin's eyes kind of narrow as the pair begin approaching the side. Roll an insight check. Anybody who's interested.
I like to know stuff.
I would love to be insightful.
God damn it.
God, wow. Jesus.
Wow. Holy shit, guys. Come on. What the fuck is going on?
Hey, to me.
To me, you have an intrinsic sense and understanding of Kaladin for some reason. Maybe it's because you watch him so often. But as Adolin walks up, you see Kaladin seeing an opportunity. You're not totally sure what, but he's getting ready for something. Warrior
challenge,
Duelmaster, the king shouts. I am greatly pleased by what you have accomplished today. This was a fight of like which has not been seen in Ilethkar for generations. You have pleased your king greatly, as you hear cheer. Ah! To me, you see Kaladin ready. I offer you a boon. Name that which of you that you wish. Name what you wish of me or this court, and it shall be yours. No man having seen this display could deny you.
Banner Sadius.
As you see Adolin stand up. For my boon, I demand the right of challenge. I demand the chance to duel High Prince Sadius, right here, right now, as redress for the crimes he committed against my house. As you see Sadius stop in the steps, a murmur going through the crowd. Adolin looked as if he was about to say something more, but as he hesitated, Kaladin stepped up beside him. And for my boon, I demand the right of challenge against the murderer Amoram. He stole from me and slaughtered my friends to cover it up. Amoram branded me as slave. I will duel him right here and right now. That is the boon I demand. You see the king's jaw drop as the crowd grew very, very still. Beside him, Adolin groaned loudly. Kaladin didn't have time to spare either a thought, as across the distance he met the eyes of Bright Lord Amoram. He saw horror, and the rest of you did too.
Nice.
As Amoram clearly recognized him. To me, you get the sense that there's one thought going through his mind. You should have killed
Ruh-roh.
me. And in this moment of triumph, you hear 2 words that ring throughout the crowd in this silence. Arrest him, the king says, as soldiers come in and cuff Kaladin Storm. And that's where we're going to end session.
I hate cliffhangers. You know that.
Man. Wish this motherfucker died when his saddle strap broke.
I'm so done with Sadius. I just
Shit,
want him to
God.
die. We just like all agree that the moment we can just take one into Sadius's neck. Just end
Yeah,
him.
I'll do it.
I'm down.
Dalinar
I'm
should
doing
be
it.
I'm
king.
glad, glad you're with me. Glad you're with me.
I'll do it right
Dalinar
now.
should be king.
I'm fucking sick of him.
Uh,
He's such a cunt.
God, Dalinar should be king.
Not possible because that's the very best.
I agree.
Fun.
So Tuesday session.